Okay, starting right off, Legion, one of my favorite modes. So as you can see, the small team on one side and the larger team kind of just that rabble of people off into the distance. It's fun to see how each of us dip out and poke people off and how the game turns out because of it. So you can see how every time we push forward, everybody kind of surges backwards. Right here you can see I see my target and I charge. Poor little Nate never stood a chance. Whip my sword out, just charge him on down, shield out front, and boom. And then tap right over his back. It definitely helped that I was taller than him. Unfortunately, Peter has been knocked out. He was a valuable team member, and I guess he ran off and went and died. So we blip a little just because there was a bit of a stop and go in that recording. So moving on, we're picking more people off. Poor Nate is there. He died. He never stood a chance, did he? Moving on, going forward, you can see we're keeping our shields out front and we're communicating openly. Communication is very important for your team. It looks like Ben's been knocked out. They flanked around him. Connor right there is dead. So it's just Ephraim, Nick, Shyler, and I run over. I take out Ewan. A little bit of revenge for spearing me in the head earlier that day. And then picking up a spear, charging another person. I charge Marcus, take his arm out. That kid there with the Scottish blue shield was a football player. He and his twin are two really good players. So I would say if you play a sport, if you're active, you could pick up a sword and be very good at it without a lot of experience required. So I'm pointing over so we stay with our team. So we're gonna run over here. Marcus tries to pursue. Shyler just smacks him. I really love watching this in slow motion because it's so many things about this is hilarious. Marcus coming up. Just the look of ferocity on her face as she smacks him. He throws his arm up, and then there's my little sister in the corner there. Like, where the heck did she come from? So anyways, moving forward, Marcus starts to argue that he's not dead, and so Ephraim just takes care of it by throwing a spear right in his gut. I'd like to make a point that we do all apologize and make sure that he's alright. We don't just viciously attack him and then move on. As we're trying to size up different things, we are staying together in a group. It's very important as team members, no matter how big or small your team is, that you are always staying together. There is safety in numbers, and that is the case for pretty much everything while this game is concerned. Ephraim hands off a spear to me. And I think I just throw it and I miss, which is kind of disappointing. I wish I would have been a little bit more accurate with my spear throwing. Yeah, so right there, shoot at Ethan. I deflect a spear. Another arrow coming around. I engage. I take out, I don't remember his name, but I take him out. Ethan tried to save his teammate. Ethan flanks around, stabs him in the back. So there's two of their really good team members that he just took out. Right here, Jonathan saw a moment and he caught it. He ran up, stabbed Shyler right in the back when she wasn't paying attention. Really good call on his part. Ephraim's out there picking off Tim and equipping a spear. So as we're moving along, I really should have had my shield up and ready because right here, take me out, hit me right in the shoulder with that arrow.
That looked like a shaft, but I'll give it to you.
Moving right along, it is Nick and Ephraim, but everybody was calling Nick out, saying that he wasn't actually playing, so we just kind of, Nick, you're done. You know, Nick has a tendency to continue playing when he should be out. So, and now it's just Ephraim. Ephraim throws the spear, and it goes right over Matthew's head there. Matthew decided he wanted a dagger. He bends over to pick it up just at the opportune time for the back of the spear to kind of doink him in the back of the head. Is just an opportune time that really would have been a really good shot. Unfortunately, Matthew ducked right at the right time. So Ephraim's just trying to pick more people off. Arrows flying at him. he's handling it. So you hear some people trying to rally everybody together, attack at once, but they can't seem to do it all at the same time, and so Ephraim's able to pick them off. He took out Jonathan's arm and killed Matthew. Oh well, no, he took out Matthew's arm.
Sorry.
He killed Jonathan and took out Matthew's arm. Matthew comes at him again, and I believe he kills him in a little bit. So right here, Ephraim's kind of divided them, and so he sees them, and this is where battle awareness is very important. So Ephraim sees the enemy, and then he notices right now, he notices that their archer is unprotected. So he sees them, and he just makes a mad dash for it quick before anybody realizes what's happening. So he goes, and he kills Michael. Michael was not happy at all.
What did you guys do?
And then he's like, stops and thinks about it for a little bit more, and he's all like,
What did you guys do?
he knew that very well could have cost them the game. You know, he was providing fire support, and they no longer had it. So Ephraim continues on fighting. Matthew equipped a lighter sword, and now he's back in the game, and he's swinging at him. Swing, 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 and they're keeping the heat on him, but they really need to all attack at once. I'd just like to pause here for a moment and make a point of people always look at the movies and say, oh, they would never do that. They would all just attack at once and it would be perfect. But right here, if you have a bunch of unskilled soldiers or warriors or fighters, if they're not all going to work together, it's not really going to work, and they're all going to attack at once, and that's really what made this game last as long as it did. Okay, so moving right along, they continue the fight. They're all attacking in singular. I believe Matthew just died. And so we're moving along. There's just it's Ephraim against these 4 kids. And they really don't seize the opportunity. He bent over to pick up a spear. Nobody did anything about it, and it's just a show of what one skilled person versus everybody else can really change the game. So Ephraim right there, he's getting pretty exhausted. He takes a knee to kind of rest for a little bit. Ben gestures in just a moment to point out, hey, there's a lighter sword over there, go get it. But there's no time. He continues on. So Ephraim's getting more and more tired. He's just trying to take a break. Really, they should have just kept pushing, but they didn't, giving him time to rest. So he tries to find a target to spear. Unfortunately, they all have shields. He can't find a good enough target. So there is quite a bit of standing around, but I like to keep it in just because it's important to see how the whole battle went. I feel like you lose the real feel of how long this battle was, how exhausted people are if I cut these boring stand around, stare down parts. It also kind of builds anticipation as you wait for Ephraim to finally throw that spear. So I believe we're getting to the point where Ben starts shouting, "Oh, Roman people on the horizon, Roman reinforcements on the horizon." He was getting tired of how long this battle was taking. And so he's trying to push them to either charge Ephraim or Ephraim to take care of it. And so he starts counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and things are going on. So everybody starts charging him all at once. So you can see here,
10,
I'm going to slow it down. And so they all start charging at once. This kid jumps at him, he slashes his leg, he's down and out for the count. That kid, Ephraim, blocks, and then another swipe. He tries to swing to get that kid. Technically, one of these kids just kills his comrade right there as he swings his sword staff around and hits that kid in the back, but it was so heat of the moment, we really didn't know. So Ephraim's continuing, he's putting up a wonderful defense against these guys. Eventually somebody comes around and slashes him right in the back. And then that was game. Ephraim put up a really good fight, but he died in the end, and the barbarians won against the Light Legion. This was Absolutely wonderful game. Ephraim did an amazing job at the end. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.